Warm greetings, friends. I'm Laura, and I'm a physical therapist, dietitian, and lifelong athlete. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I'm wondering, how are you thinking right now? Are you thinking clearly, or are you struggling with your thoughts? Are you thinking clearly, or are you struggling with your thoughts? And what impact does your thinking have on your body and your emotions? Let's dive into that just a bit deeper from a physical therapy perspective. From a physical therapy perspective, you are in a fight or flight state, in your sympathetic nervous system state, and we spend most of our waking hours in that sympathetic state. We rarely bring our bodies during our waking hours into a parasympathetic state. The parasympathetic state is a little bit more of a restorative, calm, restful state of the nervous system, and you're really designed to be both at rest as well as active and busy. The thing is that when we're in our sympathetic nervous system, most of the day we're in a dysregulated state of our sympathetic nervous system. So even though we need the fight and flight nervous system to function in the world, we're actually functioning outside that sweet spot of comfort in the sympathetic nervous system, and we're functioning a little bit more towards the dysfunctional side. And that's usually indicated by discomfort in the body, discomfort in the mind, discomfort in the emotions. And so many of us today are under so much repetitive stress that it is very common to feel comfortable with the uncomfortable. You know that it doesn't feel good, but you don't know how to make it stop. So what's going on? What's going on? Well, there has been studies going on for quite some time in medicine and the physical body, but there's also a new institute called the HeartMath Institute, which is a group of scientists, people like physicists studying the body to understand the energetics of the body. And the HeartMath Institute has been studying what they call heart-mind coherence. Heart-mind coherence to them is a place where the heart and the mind are working in unison to create a regulated state of your body. And when you're in heart-mind coherence, your thoughts are coherent, your body is at peace, and your emotions are more calm. So, with studies, it could be of your mind, it could be of your heart, and it could be through the technology that the HeartMath Institute has been using. But for example, in medicine, we've been studying the patterns of our brainwaves for years. And we've been studying electrocardiograms, the electrical output of our heart, for years. So it's nothing new, even though the HeartMath Institute is coming at it from a different way. How does it work if we study the mind and the heart working together? What is the impact on the nervous system and the body, and what is the impact on the emotions? So all of this to say is the top here, this is what we would call a dysregulated nervous system state. It might also be a dysregulated thought pattern or brainwave state, and it could in addition be what it would look like on an echocardiogram or the electrical measurements of your heart if you are not having a regular rhythmic pattern. You'll notice this is irregular and it's jagged. It almost is uncomfortable to look at. Now, HeartMath Institute calls that particular pattern incoherent. There's an incoherency, there is no regularity, no rhythm in your thoughts, your emotions, in your mind when you're in this particular state. Well, guess where most of us spend our days is in this particular state. In fact, you might even go to sleep at night and have such a large amount of stress on your plate that you cannot completely relax your mind and your body. And so then you're actually not even getting into what we would call a regulated or rhythmic state, which is what sleep is for. This is where we restore. This is where we're mostly in a parasympathetic nervous system state. And again, what I'm trying to tell you is that your mind, if you were looking at your brain waves, your mind actually could be in a regular rhythmic pattern. Your heart, ideally, pumps regularly and rhythmically and in a calm manner every single time you have a heartbeat. So the question then becomes is, are you spending your time physically, mentally, emotionally in a dysregulated state? Or are you spending your time physically, mentally, emotionally in a regulated state? And that's really the question of your life energy, your consciousness, the way your body feels. There's so many different ways to improve the quality of your state. One simple one is just drinking water or making sure you're not hungry, Because a lot of times, if you're hungry or thirsty, this is the only option your body has to choose. And again, that's impacting your mind and your emotions. It's impacting your heart's rhythm. So making sure that you're hydrated or having a healthy diet is important, but there's so many other things, such as choosing a different way of thinking. So most of us are trained to focus on problems, and most of us are trained to focus on finding solutions. That's what we were taught in school. But what I would like you to do maybe the next time you're focusing on a problem is take a deep breath and refocus onto a calmer, more rhythmic option, such as breathing deeply, such as choosing a thought of gratitude. Find a way consistently over time to get yourself in a calm and regulated state. And your body will begin over time choosing that state naturally. So you'll go from being most of your day in a dysregulated state to spending most of your day in a regulated state. And that's completely life-changing. It's life-changing mentally, emotionally, and physically. And it's what I love to do with people. And it's where all of the science of the human body and the human mind and human consciousness is going. Again, we literally have physicists studying mind, body, and emotions because it's electrical, because it's in the quantum field. And so again, I'll put the link for the HeartMath Institute below. I think you'd find that science fascinating. But no matter what, all it really comes down to is, are you dysregulated or are you regulated? Are you struggling with your thoughts or are you thinking clearly? And this is my specialty. As a physical therapist, I believe you have to work on your mind, body, and emotions, and then you want the main state of your body to be a regulated state. And it's just like building a muscle, just like you would in physical therapy. It takes practice. When you start out, you're a beginner, you're a little bit clumsy. It helps to have someone holding your hand. And as with physical therapy, you have goals that you're working towards that are clearly defined and that you can actually see the progress taking place over time. And so if you'd like to go from this state to this state, I'll also include my information below for 6 Point Center, which is my business where I do what I call holistic health physical therapy, addressing your mind, body, and emotions. If you want to go from this state to this state, check out the HeartMath Institute or reach out to me at 6 Point Center. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste.